Hello folks, today I'd like to talk about the HLN Aquano 5K coolant heater. Not the heater itself, specifically about this bracket and the mounting system. As we can see here, trying to thread these in, these are untapped holes and they give you these bolts. These are supposed to be self-tapping bolts. The threads are not tapped into the mounting points by themselves. And I don't know if you can focus in on that. That looks like cast. That is not even common in North America to any kind of grade of bolt. So I can't speak on the heater itself because I haven't been able to get it in the truck yet. I have been in contact with Kevin at HLN and it has been suggested don't use power tools. Well, I didn't. I used this nut driver by hand, trying to tap this in. One bolt broke above where it was supposed to be seated, and the other bolt broke inside, recessed inside there. So I haven't even been able to get this mounting bracket on in order to mount it on the truck. And it's been suggested to use the other side. Well, that's all great. However, the only place that I can put it on my pickup, because an airbox goes there, is in behind the bumper right here, which means the bracket can only go on one side because this has to be orientated a specific way. So also looking at this bracket, there is nothing there. So if you live anywhere where they put salt on the roads, my recommendation is that you use a backing plate and you take out some primer and paint this, because the paint that comes on it scratches easily with your fingernail. So this bracket is supposed to go on something of like that nature. I am going to be putting a backing plate on here and then I'm going to bolt it in position. Like I said, I can't even tell you how the heater works because I haven't even been able to get it in the truck yet. This coolant heater is going to replace an S-Bar D5 coolant heater or whatever that one is. And it was a specific Dodge mount for that one. It lasted 18 years. And so this is its replacement. I have reviewed everything and there's been good reviews on how this heater works. But it is a replacement for the S-Bar 1. However, the S-Bar 1 was a specific Dodge mount for 3rd gen at that year. However, it was mounted in behind the transfer case. And in order to pump coolant, the whole entire circulatory system, those are the hoses right there, I insulated them, has to come up along the frame rail, up along, over top of the engine, all the way onto that side over there to tie in to the heater core and take suction from the back of the engine. So when you're pumping 24 feet, I think it was that I measured, well, obviously that coolant heater didn't survive or didn't last any longer than the 18 years. So in order to shorten that up, going from in behind the bumper over here all the way up to the heater core, I figure is going to be about 11 feet from what I have measured so far. However, I can't even get to that stage because I have to get it mounted first. Can't get it mounted when the bolts break inside where they're supposed to be mounted to. So again, I am not knocking HLN and the Aquano heater. It's just, if anybody is going to be purchasing one of these, what I recommend is that you get some grade 8 bolts and tap, using a tap the threads in first, clean them out really well, then put your bolts in with some blue Loctite onto this bracket over here. And then I also recommend an additional backing plate on that bracket, because this is not going to last. Not here in Canada. And do not use what appears to be these cast bolts. And if you look inside, and I don't even know if I can focus on that, it looks like cast. It is not even any grade on what we would consider a grade 5 or anything like that here in Canada. Don't use these. Get yourself some real bolts, and hopefully you'll have a better time than me. I have tried to drill these out and use an easy out to get this one out. However, the easy out broke inside because of the torque on trying to self-tap through. So I'm going to take it to a machine shop. It took me 2 months in order from the original time of order to actually have this thing arrive and be delivered. So I guess I got to spend money now and go to a machine shop for them to get them out. I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. I could use a ceramic bit, a hole saw bit, and try and drill around that and then remove that easy out. But at this point in time, this has already delayed production on getting this truck back on the road. So I'm just going to take it to a machine shop and have them do it so I don't wreck the heater. I don't have enough time to wait another 2 months for another one to come in. So we'll try and salvage this here. And unfortunately, well, more to come. But if this doesn't work, I guess it'll be a Webasto unit, because a Webasto is even a smaller size than this. And testing reviews video shows just about as good. So I would really like to try this, because I would eventually like to try their diesel heaters, the Aerolin heaters at some point. I do have an office tool crib trailer that's going to be the propane furnace, RV furnace is going to be removed from that, and try a diesel heater in there. But again, like I said, I am not knocking this unit itself because I haven't even been able to test it yet. All reviews say that it's going to work just as good or better than the S-Bar or Webastos. But I am going to make some recommendations on this bracket and this mounting system. Do go get some grade 8 bolts. Do tap the holes before you do anything. And definitely put a backing plate on this bracket, because as you can see, this just it's not going to last. Not anywhere where there's salt. So I have a 19-year-old truck, and the truck is still good just by cleaning and whatnot, but there are some components like these things that I guess won't last as long as the truck. So I'm trying to do some configuring and get this one figured out. But yeah, these cast bolts, don't use them. My recommendation right here, right now, is throw these in the garbage. Carry out. Thanks. Bye.